Hey guys, Kishiryu here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Kishiryu Series 06 Deluxe DimeVolcano from Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger. This is the first extra Kishiryu, which can combine with Kishiryu and includes a special power-up Ryusoul. So, let's get started. First up, we'll look at the included Ryusoul, which is the MeraMeraSoul, from MeraMera meaning burning. This is the first of what are known as Kyoryu souls, with Kyo meaning strong, but also being a pun on Kyoryu, the Japanese word for dinosaur. What makes these souls stand out is that not only do they use solid colored plastic, but also translucent plastic. In this case, you've got solid orange and translucent orange. So this is based on a Dimetrodon, and while this does resemble DimeVolcano himself, one odd discrepancy is that this part on top of the head is silver here on the Ryusoul, but on DimeVolcano it's gold. And you also see some flames running along the top of the head. So, you flip it around to night mode, where you can see that it's based on the Ryuso type Ryusouls, with the generic night helmet and design, but in this case, the chest V is now painted in gold. You've got the weapon, which is this golden sword, which is meant to look like fire, and also has the look of being surrounded by fire, as well as the shield with DimeVolcano's symbol. Next, let's use the MeraMeraSoul with the Ryuso Changer. And you hear that says Ryusoul. Then we should press the button. It'll say Chou Ikeso. So both those sounds indicate that these are stronger versions of the normal Ryuso type souls. And of course we can see the crest up top, as well as the shield in the window. After that, we'll use the MeraMeraSoul with the Ryusoken. So we pull the trigger, instead of a phrase, we get a new attack sound featuring a fiery sound effect. Then if we press and hold the trigger, we get a new phrase followed by the attack sound. Next we activate the Ryuso. And that activates the transformation into Ryusoul Red MeraMeraSoul. Now, as you can hear, it had a different standby music. So, I'll just do that again, but listen to the loop one time through. And we can see Ryusoul Red MeraMeraSoul here on the box, where you can see he gains a new full torso, orange and gold armor, which has DimeVolcano's head right here on the shoulder, though it more resembles the head of the Ryusoul. You can get another picture. Right here we can see a better look at the armor as a whole. You can see it's got the symbol here on the chest, as well as looking like it has basically DimeVolcano's body draped across the shoulders. So it's definitely something that gives off the appearance of a power-up. Of course, now that we've gone into the Ryusoul mode, the trigger now does the basic attack sounds. And so then we can activate the Ken-BOM attack. And so we again got a new set of phrases for the charging up, as well as turning it into not just a Ken-BOM attack, but a Ken-BO-BO-BO-BOM attack. So I'll let you hear that one more time. Next, we'll look at DimeVolcano himself. As stated earlier, he's based on the Dimetrodon, which wasn't technically a dinosaur, but rather a synapsid. But, as is the tendency with these dinosaur-based Sentai, they pretty much count any and all prehistoric creatures into the realm of dinosaurs. So he's mainly orange, gold, and silver, with a mix of both solid orange and translucent orange, just like with the Ryusoul. You can see his very well detailed face, with nice green eyes, and as I said, you have that difference from the soul to the Kishiryu, where this part is gold here, but silver on the soul. You can see all the details along the body, as well as a lot of details in the spines. On the tail back here, and on the other side, it's almost the same, except we have this extra flame piece, which doesn't serve too much of a purpose right now, but it will in the future. Has no articulation, but it does have a lot of details, and as far as parts goes, it's made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces in total. Next up, we can combine Kishiryu with DimeVolcano. So for Kishiryu, we're going to remove the drills, cannons, and Kishiryu head. Then for DimeVolcano, we're going to split them up entirely. So remove the head, remove the sail fin, attach the tail from there, remove this piece from the side, and split the body in half. So first, we're going to come to the shoulders, take these pieces, flip them around, and then using these joints down here, connect them to the shoulders so that they're at a diagonal upwards angle. Then, we'll take the tail and sail, use them as weapons, putting the tail into the right hand, and the sail into the left. We'll take the head, flip it upside down, and using these parts attach to the drills on the sides. You'll plug that onto the chest, just like that. We'll take this piece and clip it onto the top up here. And finally, remove the red Ryusoul and put in the MeraMeraSoul. And here we have Kishiryu DimeVolcano. So, let's take a look. Starting off with a new head, we can see that, like with the others, it uses the same base head but changes around the helmet. You can see it now has a helmet that makes it look like it's made out of orange and gold fire. Though one weird discrepancy is that, while usually the eyes on Kishiryu match up with the eyes of the Kishiryu that is dominant and the Ryusoul, as you can see, Kishiryu DimeVolcano has blue eyes, but the actual soul and DimeVolcano have green eyes. Next in detail are these two large shoulder cannons, which are raised to a 45-degree angle. Coming down to the chest, you can see the drills are now at the midsection, as well as the new flame patterns that are upwards. And you can see that the head flipped around to basically try to hide the face. It does give it an interesting look. It now has two new weapons in the form of a sword made up by the tail, as well as this large saw-like axe made up by the sail. Now, if there's one point of slight criticism I have with this, is that it doesn't have a very impressive silhouette. Not only because you don't get too much orange on here, but also because it feels a little bit thinned in, especially because of how the arms are bare in this mode. So, you know, if I'm just going to display it normally, I do like to put back on the guns to the arms. Just to give it a little bit more bulk in that area. Now you could already do something like this, where the cannons kind of stick out onto the sides, or out to the sides, as flame jets or something like that. That being said, there are some other things you can do with this. First off, while in the show, in order to use the cannons, Kishiryu and DimeVolcano basically just pulls its arms back like that. That does look a little bit awkward, so what I prefer to do instead is just to take the cannons, flip them around, and then have them using the joints down here for a more straight-on look. It also makes it look a little bit better when you have the arms raised up, since that way you don't have these sticking straight upwards. You can also angle the weapons at the side to give it a little bit more width, and so you can see a little bit more details of the weapons. But by far my favorite change, or really my most preferred change with this combination, is to take the weapons and using the joints on them, attach them to the sides of the arms instead of using them in the hands. Not only does this widen up the profile, it gives it a bit of interesting asymmetry, as well as shows a lot more orange within the overall combination. And when I do that, I then put the cannon parts up here on the back of the actual cannons. With that being said, on Bandai's Ryusoulger blog, they also created their own alternate version of Kishiryu DimeVolcano. So for that, he took the weapons and attached them to the shoulders, with this piece going forward like that, while this one goes out to the side. Then, the head gets removed and then flipped all the way around. That's facing upwards, more equivalent to the normal Kishiryu. Then, for the cannon parts, the gun pieces go on top here, whereas the drill pieces go onto the sides. Then these will attach to the arms. So you've got something like that, where the main weapons are now these large arm cannons, which definitely gives it a different kind of look. Of course, because of the Ryusoulger joint system, you can make various different combinations using the various pieces. However, because neither the box nor the instructions to DimeVolcano show any kind of example combinations, I decided to make up some of my own. The first one is going to use Kishiryu and DimeVolcano as their Kishiryu forms. For Kishiryu, you're going to remove the drills and place them down onto the sides of the legs, facing forward. Then take the guns and place them onto the shoulders, facing upwards like this, and then angling them forward. Then for DimeVolcano, we're going to remove this piece from the side and set it aside. Move DimeVolcano's head up to this joint, then dismantle him. So first, take the cans, using these joints, attach them onto the gun pieces, so they hang down like that. Then, take this entire piece and plug it onto this joint here. Or rather, onto this joint. Like that. Then take the tail and plug it onto here. And here we have what I like to call DimeVolcano. So, as you can see, we now add the large cannons onto the existing guns. Give them more firepower, along with the guns up here. And the part I'm most proud of is that I basically created kind of a fiery mohawk for Kishiryu, as well as some spines along the back. Give me a good mix of Kishiryu's firepower, as well as the flames of DimeVolcano. Next up is a combination between Kishiryu 3 Knights and DimeVolcano instead of just normal Kishiryu. So, a lot of it's going to be similar to the normal Kishiryu DimeVolcano, so do the same kind of thing with the chest here. This plugs in here, and this goes onto the back. Then, a little bit of a change up. You're going to take the pieces that were on the shoulders and put them on the knees. And then put these pieces onto the shoulders, similar to Kishiryu 5 Knights. We'll equip cans onto the shoulders, but with them facing forward. Attaching guns onto the top pieces. Equip it with the weapons on the arms. Use the MeraMeraSoul for the head. And here we have what I call Kishiryu 3 Knights Volcano. This one I definitely like a lot. It adds in the extra color of the pink and blue from Tricane and Ankylose. Then it adds in the orange of DimeVolcano for something that I feel is definitely more colorful than the normal Kishiryu DimeVolcano, but not too much so. And finally, we'll bring in Tiger Rants and Meal Needle to add to this and basically build upon my custom version of Kishiryu 5 Knights. So to start off with this, take the weapons and put them in the normal spots on the hands, or in the hands rather. Take the hand pieces and plug them onto the fronts of the shoulders. Then remove this piece from the tail and set aside. Next up for tiger ants, dismantle it. Start by taking one of the claw pieces, placing that onto the chest, and placing the head back on. Then we'll take the front half of the body, plug the tail onto the top, and plug in the head here, and plug that onto the right arm. Then take the back half of the body, plug it into here, plug this piece on top with fin, and then I don't quite remember where this piece goes, but I'll get back to it when I do. Then for Meal Needle, we'll disassemble him too. Take the can piece and the head piece, combine them together, and plug them into just this port down here. Take the spike piece and plug it into the waist, and this is the reason why I had this piece out here, so that I could actually place this in this spot. And coming around to the back, well, let's start doing what we did before. To a certain degree, I am plugging this piece into here, then taking this piece and plugging it in on top, like that. Then we will plug Chiramigo's head onto here, or rather the other way around, and plug that on top here. Raise it up so you can see it a bit better. Take this piece and plug it on the bottom down here. And while this is a piece that is just basically being put in places to be put in places, it is something that will come into play in a future combination. Then finally, we'll take the two bi-halves of Meal Needle and plug them into these pegs right here. Using the lower ones, like so. And this gigantic thing is what I like to call Kishiryu 5 Nights Volcano. As you can see, this makes use of all of the different pieces, and is quite something. It's very bulky because of all the pieces that are used, and while yes, I did add a lot of things to the backpack, it does also help widen the silhouette. As you can see, you've got these pieces extending out on the sides here. Got a lot of firepower with the cans and the guns, as well as the can on the arm. But you also got a lot of melee power too, such as the lance, the swords, and the drills. I'll admit it's a little bit too flashy for my taste, so it's not how I choose to display it, and I do wish there was a different piece I could have used in place of the claw piece, just so I wouldn't have the screen sticking out, but this is what I found worked out the best. There are certainly other ways of combining all the pieces, I think, but this is the way that I'd definitely say works out for me. And there we go. Overall, DimeVolcano is an excellent addition to the Kishiryu series. The MeraMeraSoul is a breath of fresh air compared to the previous Ryusouls we've done, as it finally adds some new flair to the sounds you can get from the Ryusoul Changer or Ryusoulgen, pun unintended. As far as DimeVolcano himself goes, while the combination with Kishiryu is a little bit on the lacking side in terms of the overall look, there are ways you can change it to make it look a little bit better, but it definitely adds a lot of new playability in terms of what you can do with combinations with the other Kishiryu, and that is what I love about this line. Again, it's that as you add in these new pieces, you can find new creative ways to use them, as I have, and I'm sure as you can too. Not to mention that while I haven't shown certain parts of what some pieces of DimeVolcano can do, it does have a bigger part to play a little bit later on down the line. At least about a couple of months down the line or so. As to what that is, you'll have to wait and see, and please, if you know, don't spoil that in the comments. So this is one I can definitely recommend picking up, as both addition to the roleplay series as well as to the mech series. Next time I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Muscle Galaxy Full Bottle. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is Kero50, writing off.